Hello everyone, welcome to our reading class for today. So in today's lesson, our reading comprehension is entitled The World of Unusual Hobbies. Let's discover them together. And in our lesson today, we will cover three main objectives. First, you will discuss issues related to unusual hobbies through Activity A, page 22 on your student book. Second, you will express your opinion with reference to an announcement, which is Activity B, page 22. And finally, we will scan an announcement for specific information. So let's get started. Okay, as our lesson's title is Unusual Hobbies, can you define the word hobby? Okay, let's read the definition together. A hobby is an activity that someone does for pleasure when they are not working or when you are not studying, something you do in your free time. We can express the word hobby differently in English language. You can say a pastime activity. You can say a free time activity. You can say a leisure activity and a recreational activity or a recreation. Okay, now let's open our books, page 22. We will start our lesson with a discussion. So the first question, do you know any unusual hobbies? And what are they? What's the meaning of unusual? So unusual means weird and abnormal or strange. Let me show you some pictures of some unusual hobbies. You might have seen them before. So what do you think they are? Okay, these are a list of names. Plane spotting. The first one here is called plane spotting. People enjoy going to airports and observing or watching planes landing and taking off. Next one, beetle fighting. It's a popular hobby, especially in Japan. People enjoy having a fight between beetles. And the soap carving, this one, so some people enjoy or are keen on turning a bar of soap into a piece of art. Next question, why do you think people do them? Why do you think people enjoy doing these weird and abnormal hobbies? So, of course, you might have a different answer. And let me share this answer. I suppose, or you can say, I think, in my opinion, this is to express your opinion, that different people have different tastes or preferences. And despite the fact that I find these hobbies weird, I guess that some people find these activities satisfying because it proves that certain things in the world function perfectly. So some people have different preferences. They do not have hobbies in common, and these weird hobbies make them satisfied or feel happy. Okay, now let's go ahead to activity B. Read the announcement below and say what strikes you as unusual about each of the four hobbies. When you have a reading text, it is very important to identify the layout of your text. Look at the text here. Try to notice the layout and the other subtitles and headlines. As you can see here, we have a website. So this announcement is taken from the website. See these icons, the home, the pause, the events, the photos, contact us. So they are supposed to be clickable. So it's a website announcement, and in which four hobbies are mentioned as headlines. The first one, Cryptozoologist Club. The second one, Urban Gardeners. The third one, Gosford Beach Finders. And the last one, Geocachers International. Okay, so we will go through each hobby and find out what unusual about each of the four hobbies. What strikes you? What makes you feel that this is really unusual? Okay, now starting with the Cryptozoologist Club, we are going to identify what is unusual about this club. It is very important to skim our text from the very beginning just to get a general idea of meaning. As you can see here, we have 5 main parts or subtitles: about us, reaction, equipment, where and when, and our president's statement. So if we want to know what is this club about, we have to read the about us statement. So we prove that animals, species previously thought to be non-existent, actually do exist. In this club, people try to prove that some creatures or species really exist, like, for example, dinosaurs or dragons. Who knows? And now let's get deeper in the text and try to scan for specific information and underline the clues. Here it is. So we also organize annual trips. So annual means every year, yearly trips. So we travel every year all over the world to search for creatures such as the Yeti Himalayas or Bigfoot in the United States. So this year, for example, we are traveling to Mongolia in search of the mysterious almas. So this, for some people, seems unusual because people have to make a lot of efforts and devote all their time to find out about species that are thought to be non-existent. So let's share the answer. What strikes me as unusual is that they fly around the world to spot new species. They have to travel every year to find out about new creatures or species that we have never heard about them. Okay, now move on to the urban gardener's hobby. We are going to find what is unusual about it. Please don't forget the scanning technique to identify the clues that would help you find the answer. Let's read the first part, which is about us. So, more adventurous than your routine gardener, we transform or we change concrete wastelands into garden landscapes. So, there are some people who enjoy changing a barren or uncultivated land into a garden landscape. So, what do you think about it? Is it really unusual? Okay, so in my opinion, so this is a personal opinion, of course, you might have a different point of view. It seems unusual that there are people willing to transform wastelands into garden landscapes. Okay, now regarding the third hobby, which is the Gosford Beach Finders, we will try to identify what these people are interested in. Okay, let's read about us statement. Few people know what detectorists are, but you've probably seen us with our metal detectors searching for treasures on the beaches. This year at the Gosford Beach Hotel, we've set up the GB Lost Property office to ensure that no one leaves the beach without their treasured belongings. This is really amazing. If you lose anything on the beach, some people are there to find it for you. So instead of relaxing on the beach and swimming, they look for lost belongings. So I think it's unusual that instead of spending time on the beach relaxing, they spend time trying to find what others have lost. Okay, now moving to Geocachers International. Let's read the first part. We aren't just the players of a global hide-and-seek game. We are the makers of a fascinating trend. So it seems like a hide-and-seek games, but it's more fascinating. Okay, let's read some clues. Upon membership to our site, means when you become a member, you will get free user ID. Then find the nearest geocache, a waterproof container containing a logbook, to your home. Jot down its location and use a GPS device to find it. So they try to leave things in unidentified places, and you will try to use the global positioning system or GPS to find this thing. And what is really weird is that these things are not valuable, they are just plastic trinkets. So what's amazing about it, it's just the journey. Okay, so it seems unusual because this is a kind of treasure hunt, but there is no treasure. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Read the announcements again and answer the questions. Choose A, B, C, or D. The first question, according to the text, what is true about mountain gorilla? So think about the correct answer or the true information about mountain gorilla. This keyword will automatically refers me to the passage of the Cryptozoologist Club, and here is the keyword, the mountain gorilla. It's very important to read your sentence now from the very beginning. Don't forget that the mountain gorilla, the colossal squid, and the okapi were once believed to be imaginary creatures. So, people thought in the past that these creatures were imaginary. Is it really an imaginary creatures? Was it discovered by cryptozoologists? Scientists don't believe they really exist, or some people didn't used to believe such a creature was real. So what do you think? They were once believed to be imaginary creatures. Yes, so the answer is some people didn't used to believe that such a creature was real. Okay, question number 2. In which of the following places do you think the urban gardeners would not plant young trees? So the key word here is urban gardeners, and this refers me to the hobby of urban gardeners. So in which of the places do you think they would not plant? Of course, we already saw that they transform concrete wastelands, this highlighted word, so the wastelands or the unused areas, into garden landscapes. So they will try to use all unused areas or the land that has become barren or overgrown. So they won't use a car park because it's already used, next to abandoned factory, on a roundabout close to school, in a beautiful old garden with rose bushes. So which one do you think is not the right area to plant? Okay, so the answer is in a beautiful old garden, because it already is a beautiful old garden and it's already planted. Okay, moving to the question number 3. What do Gosford beach finders search for? Let's have a look at the hobby Gosford Beach Finders Club. Now let's read the first sentence or the first part. Few people know what detectorists are, but you've probably seen us with our metal detectors searching for treasures on the beaches. So in order to find the small lost items, they use their metal detectors. This is the metal detectors that serve like a magnet to collect only metals. So are they looking for missing tourists, small metal objects, the lost beach of Gosford, or metal detectors? So the answer is small metal objects. Very good. Okay, moving ahead now with question number 4. Why was the game played by Geocachers International created? So let's check this hobby. Why was it created? So we'll talk about its start. We will read this part here about the reaction. The game first began in 2000 to test GPS, or Global Positioning System, which is a multi-million pound navigational satellite system. So the answer is very clear here, and it is used, yes, to test a satellite system. Now, question number 5. Which club is not taken seriously by some people? Urban Gardeners, Goes for Beach Finders, the Cryptozoologist Club, or Geocachers International. So the keyword here is not taken seriously. This means the attitude of people and their reaction. That's why we need to refer to the reaction in each hobby. So these statements are taken from the reactions, from the text itself. And the answer is very good. The Cryptozoologist Club. Look at this evidence. Scientists ridicule us because they believe that cryptozoology is not a real science. So they ridicule us. They think that what we are doing is really ridiculous and silly. So the answer is C. Okay, now here comes the end of our reading session. Thank you so much for attendance. If you would like to recall the names of the unusual hobbies that you studied today, you can read these clues and try to answer. Thank you so much. See you next time.